when you are in the diaspora, you're feeling like you want to relocate. There are videos that you're shown. There is the news that you read about what's happening in Zimbabwe. And you have that call to say, I want to go back home. This video is for you. I'm going to give you 10 things that I've learned for the past days that I've been here in Zimbabwe, right on the ground. Some of the things that I think you need to consider before you finally make that decision to come to Zimbabwe. And I've taken down some of the notes, so I'll be reading out and I'll be explaining some of the things that I've learned. Because what happened is, when I had that call to say I need to go back to connect to my roots, I knew that there are certain things that videos on YouTube would not show us. There are certain things that people will tell us the stories of relocating, they might miss. I decided to take a 30-day journey, 30-day challenge to come back to Zimbabwe, to be on the ground, to see what's happening on the ground. Because if I've been a person for the past 16 years who has been coming and staying for 2 years, maximum 2 weeks, maximum 3 weeks, then I go back to South Africa. I come here 2 weeks, 1 week, then I go back to South Africa. So you don't have that feel. Like I'm telling you right now, I've been here in Zim for the past 21 days. And I haven't been in the CBD just to walk around for 15 minutes. I've been just passing through the CBD, Harare CBD. I haven't been there to see how much KFC costs, how much lunch costs in the CBD, because I've been busy running around. So for the past 21 days, I don't have a clue of the cost of things in the CBD. You understand? So this has been the life of so many of us who've been coming. You go, you're not aware of what's happening. But since I want to relocate to the rural areas, or I want to relocate just outside of Harare, I've been putting much effort to see what's happening there. If I am to come to Mrewa, if I'm to come to Boyera, if I'm to come to Ziko, Dema, Domboshaba, how are people surviving there? How are people going about their daily duties, their things? How are they surviving? So this is me sharing with you some of the 10 things that I think you ought to understand. Number one, village life is not romantic. It's a real and demanding. There is this thing that we sell to people, or that has been sold to people, to say, if you come to Zimbabwe, there's peaceful, beds will be chipping, there are green trees, there's no rent. But the reality is a bit different on the ground. It is true that there's peace. It is true that there's that inner peace. It is true that beds will be chipping. There are green trees. That's very true. But it's not romantic. It's hard work. There is hard work on the ground. You might not be paying rent, but you need to walk 3 kilometers to get water. You might not be paying rent, but you need to wake up early in the morning, go kumunda, make sure you feed, taking the cows out of the crow and do. There are things that are also demanding on the ground. Not to discourage you from relocating, but I want you to know that it's not just romantic. There is hard work. When you are in the rural areas, you need to consider having your own bore. I think I'll talk about that much later on. But you also need to make sure it's a planned move, not in just an emotional move. It's not about just checking to talk about the peace, the tranquility, far away from criminals, far away from those people who might hit you on the road, far away from the congestion. But there is also hard work that comes with it. It just doesn't happen. So, excuse me. So if you grow up in the city or have lived abroad for a long time, the adjustment hits you hard. So don't come expecting comfort, come expecting work. You've been in diaspora for 25 years, you have an 18-year-old, a 20-year-old child, son, daughter coming back here. They should be prepared for that change. They should be prepared for that change. And it's hard work. Number two, the other thing is the cost of living is lower. That's what we say. But so is the cash flow. It's true that you can spend the whole day just with $5. It's true. But where is that $5 coming from? So most of the people in the diaspora assume that life is cheaper. But it is only if you already have land or support. The big challenge is that there is no stable salary. There's no stable salary. There is no first of the month paycheck. You survive on your hustle, your network, or your creativity. So before you relocate, make sure you have a clear income plan. Remote work, digital business, farming, rentals, etc. Make sure you have a clear income plan. Where are you going to get the money? Yes, we can survive on a $5 every day, but where is that $5 gonna come from? This is one thing that I feel people need to know. I've watched in some videos where people were saying, we can't all be farmers, we can't all be raising chickens. But when you're in the rural areas, when you are in the outskirts of the CBDs, what exactly is a lucrative business? What exactly can you do there? I did a video with one pastor who is doing printing, but he's doing for the people in the CBD. That's true. But also, when you're in the rural areas, you also need to do something that also caters for the community that you're living in. Because some of these places are 40, 50, 100, 200 kilometers away from the CBD, and you can't be commuting there every day. So you need a lucrative business. You need to do something. That's why you end up seeing people getting into cattle ranching, sheep, pig, chicken business. Why? Because that's the lucrative business, and farming also is of importance. So you need to understand that the cost of living is lower, but so also is the cash flow. So you have a clear income plan. Don't just move. Where are you going to get the money? Where are you going to get that $5? Do you have a business in plan? So before you relocate, make sure you set all those things. Just coming here and feel they will do Dega. No, they won't do Dega. You need to just plan. So also, number 3, infrastructure is limited. So be ready to provide your own. Infrastructure is limited. Be ready to provide your own. This is one of the biggest shocks. Electricity is not guaranteed. In many villages, it's non-existent. Same with water, transport, and the network signals. So if you're serious about relocating, plan for solar power, a bore or a well, offline data bank backups, and a fuel-efficient vehicle or a motorbike. You become your own municipality here, so budget for it. There is a limited infrastructure. I'm telling you. And there are places where I visited. I remember when I visited Mugove, family in Dombosha Wangoma Kurira area there. Also when I went to Juru Growth Point, when I visited that, when I went to watch that, to take a tour of that beautiful mansion there, there is limited infrastructure. You get into a car, you are seated 3 people in the front, 3 people, the 4 actually, the driver will be like on the door like this. There's a person sitting here, and his leg or her leg is actually on the driver's side because the cars are automatic, and there are 2 people. The other will be on the door and at the back, and also in that same car. You can't put your bag down because the dust will be coming under the car. There'll be dust, there'll be sand inside the car. There are cars that you feel it can break down any moment. The infrastructure is bad. The roads in the rural areas, they are a bit bad. Not to discourage you, but I'm just saying you need to be prepared. Some have resorted to buying a motorcycle. So there's a lot of adjustments. If you're going to be coming with the kids, you need to buy them bicycles. They will ride to school instead of having Malume or someone driving them to school, or you yourself dropping them at school. They would need to buy bicycles. So these are some of the things, because the infrastructure is limited. And also you need to understand that you become your own municipality. You are becoming your own municipality. You are going to the rural areas where there's no electricity. You need to check to plan on putting on solar panels. Your own solar panels. Your own source of water, be it a bore. Then you drill a bore, a well, godi. And you put a pump, if you have solar power, to pump that water into tanks. So refuse, whatever, the sewer pipe, you have to put the septic tanks and stuff. You become your own municipality when you are coming to the rural areas, because the infrastructure is a bit limited. So you have to provide your own. And one thing that I've discovered that you need when you're relocating is a vehicle. You need a vehicle. This is a must-have. For the past weekend, when I was in the villages, I walked more than 30 kilometers. In 3 days, I walked more than 30 kilometers. There are distances that you need to walk. There is no mode of transport. You walk. Your legs will be white. And sometimes you walk, you will be like, I'm coming from here, I'm going there. There's no one there on the road, and you have to go. So you need a vehicle that takes you from point A to point B. The funny thing is, In some of these remote village areas, I've discovered there are cars that are not even registered. They don't even have a number plate. Some they have number plates from the 90s, those old number plates. And the people, they make sure the car is just moving from point A to point B. The bearings. I remember when I was going to Juru, they actually a tire puncher. I don't know what happened. And we had to continue to move with that car. Same car. So you need to have your own vehicle, an off-road or something that will take you from point A to point B. Some also is getting to buying those small scooters. So you need to consider that. You need to know that. Then number 4, I also discovered that the relationships are more valuable than money. This surprised me. In the village, no one cares about your UK or your South African car. They care if you greet them, respect elders, and contribute to the community. So you need your neighbors to help you with fetching sand, watching your property, or giving advice. And guess what? Most of it won't be bought with money. It's built through kindness, humility, and presence. That's what I wrote here. I noticed that relationships are very important in the rural areas. I wasn't feeling well. I had a stomach problem, and one of my uncles was like, we'll sort this thing out. You had some traditional medicine which I took, and I'm telling you, it was very, very effective. And he said people come here, they come with their chickens when they are not feeling well. When they are not feeling well, they just bring chickens as a means of payment. Some they will just bring $5, and that's the community. They know they are far from getting to you might need 20 kilometers, 15 kilometers to go to the hospital. But because of their relationships they have, they know where you can get help. When you need medication, they know there's a Gurumbai there. You go to him, you sort you out. There is, when you need something, when you need to plant your fields, you are now Mombe, you don't have cattle. There is auntie what there. There is uncle who there. There is another neighbor there. You give you 2 cows. If you have 2, now you have 4. You can plant. So most of the things that happen are done when you are able to create relationships. There are some people who say, I don't care about people. I just have mind my business. You can mind your own business and do your things if you have everything that you need. But in the rural areas, in the villages, if you want to survive, you need to build the relationships. You need to build connections. You need to be of help to the community. When I was there, I had a bit of about some $20 or so. So I just put that $20 aside so that when I see the elders and the people that were introduced to me by my uncle to say, this is this from this, then I said, oh, okay, good to see you. Some will be coming elders, 5, 6 elders. Then I just take out $2. Or then I say, they will just buy some super muscards. They call it bakos, 3 scards, you buy it $2. And this I did when I came in February, and even when I was here now. And I'm telling you, everyone started talking about me. You see that guy? That man is well cultured. What? They talked about me because I bought them beer, and they felt even when I went to the primary school. Kwandega did way back in '92 when I was there at that school. I went there. I saw the headmaster actually ordered some uniforms, soccer uniforms for the primary kids, which I'll be delivering soon. I'll show you the videos. So they feel that you're part of the community. You are there to help the community. I started getting that attention. And I'm telling you, it is very important because those relationships, they are valuable, even more than money. They are valuable. Just for me, I was using that as a means to create relationships, So there's another field there you can go and plow. So relationships are more important. Number 5, start small. Don't be pressured to impress. That's number 5. You will see people building 6-bedroom houses, painting fancy colors, but some are broke inside. Don't fall into that trap. Start with 1-room cottage if needed. Focus on basic shelter, water, toilet, and food security. Build as your resources allow. It's better to start small and finish than to start big and fail. So one of the things that you need to shy away from or to run away from is the pressure from competing with the people that are already on the ground, that are already doing it. So do and build with your own means. You are relocating, but what do you have? I visited people like Miss V who had nothing when she landed. 2 bags and a few dollars. She had a place to stay. She had some land. That was a very good start. She's still staying in those 2 rooms. I visited Mugabe, who is living in a mansion. I visited another family that is living in a very big mansion, again in Juru Growth Point. Know where you are. don't compete. Move at your own pace. You're not competing with anyone. So when you're coming, avoid just succumbing to the pressure. Avoid trying to be big. You can start big and fail, but it's better that you start small and then you begin to grow. Start with a one-room cottage, then from there start bricklaying, brick making. You know, motor for as dinner. Then you start from there. Then you rise. You can rise and rise. So number 6, I said you need practical skills more than formal education. Degrees don't fetch water in the rural areas. Degrees are important. You know, qualifications are important, but in the rural areas, degrees don't fetch water. Diplomas don't cook. Your skills, the skill set is what matters most. You need to know basic farming, how to fix small problems, which is, I believe, is one of the greatest thing and greatest asset that you can have when you are relocating. Your ability to fix small problems, your ability to provide solutions to problems. You identify what people need and make sure it is available for a profit. You know, how to budget. You need to know how to budget. How to build a heart is if needed. You need those skills. You know, if you don't have these skills, learn them or find trustworthy local help. So you need to learn them, which I would advise. Learn some skills before you relocate. Finding local help is good, but what I've noticed that when you are coming from the diaspora, the local help will consider you Mbinga. You have some money, even if you don't have. They'll be coming to you if you have a car. They'll be there. They want $1 for cleaning your car. They want this. So finding local help is good. Number one, it can be cheaper, or also you can be scammed. I read of a story of one guy who was from the States who came and was sold some chickens. And you know, asingaziye mazita and akapiwa ma wrong chickens akazona huku dzakufa. So those things can happen and people can take advantage of you, take advantage of ignorance. So make sure you learn a skill or two so that you know it will help you. In Zimbabwe, you survive by what you do, what you can do, and not what you can talk about. So it's not about what you can talk about, what you can do, what you can talk, but it's all about what you can do that can help you to survive. Number 7, there's opportunity, but only for the observant. If you come here in Zimbabwe waiting for someone to employ you, I'm telling you, you wait forever. You wait forever. If you're coming to find a job in Zimbabwe, you wait forever. But if you open your eyes and see the gaps, if you open your eyes, you see the gaps everywhere. Yesterday, I was with one of my young brothers, Zigo and Chibanda, up until late in the evening. They were talking to me and said, Pastor, there are a lot of opportunities in Zimbabwe. Hey, Zigo, what are you saying? I said, Pastor, you are creative. You can do this. You can do this. There are a lot of opportunities on the ground. So if you are observant, you will see that there are opportunities. Opportunities that are not even seen by those who are here. Those who are already here. You can see that people who are coming from abroad, they've seen, they've experienced, they've exposure. And when they come here, they do a lot of things in a short of time. In a short space of time. So be very observant because there are opportunities. You can make money from almost anything. As long as you put your heart and you put your creativity and you put your mind to it, you can make a business from selling trees. You can make a business of even selling airtime. Check the opportunities. Be observant. Don't be closed. Don't have just one mind to say, oh, when I go to Zimbabwe, I'll be doing farming. You have 3, 4, 5 sources of income that you think of. Be observant and see what people are in need of and try to provide those solutions. Number 8, mental and emotional adjustment is serious. This one is deep, I'm telling you. The silence, the loneliness, the lack of internet, it gets to you. I'm telling you. Right now, as I'm recording this video, I'm just thinking, how am I going to upload it? I'm thinking, how am I going to upload this video? So I'll upload it. I'm thinking about it. You know, so those things, they can get to you. It gets to you. It forces you to reflect. Sometimes it's peaceful, but sometimes it can be depressing. You need emotional strength. If you are used to malls, crowds, daily entertainment, window beach, you do this boat cruising, get ready to deal with your own thoughts. You need to get ready to deal with your own thoughts. Sometimes you're lonely. You just sit there. No one is visiting you. I was shocked when one of the guys was saying, when I was taking me to the bus stop early in the morning, around 3:30 in the morning, going to Mavide. I was saying, it's been 2 years since I came here. 2 years, but you say about 3-4 kilometers. I said, yeah, I'll be at home. Sometimes I go and drink Doro Kwana Mainingi, Kumashabin. So you see, there's can be loneliness, they can be silence, though peaceful, but it can even lead to depression if you're someone who was used to going to malls, piano, you're going to concert, you're going to this. You need to have that emotional, to be mental, to have that mental and emotional stability. So that's why I recommend testing the waters like I'm doing before relocating fully. So you test the waters, you come here like I'm doing. I've seen it. I've seen it. I'm telling you, the past 21 days, I've seen it. I've seen it, I've experienced it. And there are things that I like and there are things that I don't like. I'll tell you the decision whether I'm relocating now or I'll think about it or what I'm doing towards relocating. Because at the end of the day, I have to relocate and be back home. Number 9, access to basic services can be difficult. The nearest hospital could be 20 kilometers away. Banks may not have cash. Your kids' school may have no desks. This is not to discourage you, but to prepare you. If you or your kids have medical needs, plan ahead. And that is as if your child is asthmatic, someone who is sugar diabetic, you need tablets, you need those. You see, even my mom, I had to buy my mom the BP machine, the glucose tester, that's the sugar testing kit. You have to plan ahead. If you're buying medical pills, whatever, you have to buy and be planned. Because you might not need to travel 20 kilometers for checkup and all the stuff. So if you have a car, make sure it's maintained. Be ready to be for the realities of service delivery in a rural setup. Yeah, service delivery can be bad. I was born at Marambinda Hospital in Buyera there. I was there to just check what's happening. And I had to tour the Mabarani there to show me around. And there are some improvements. But when I posted it on my Facebook, I heard a lot of people saying, my mother died there. Someone saying this place is expensive. And from one of my uncles was there with a fracture on his leg. I saw, yeah, it's a bit pricey. So those are some of the things that you need to understand, that service delivery can be a burden. But not to discourage you, all you need to do is just to be planned before you come. Make sure you plan. Number 10, which is probably the last one. Without a plan, you burn out and return. This is the most important point. You need a relocation strategy. Don't just move with emotions, move with a plan. Some move with emotions. Some see people waking up doing this. Some people see smiling people with relocated. There are stories of failed relocations. I'm telling you, there are stories of failed relocations. People who have failed dismally. And I'll share with you some of the stories. Some of them were denying to be on camera, but I will narrate and I will try to share with you how they failed. And some have returned. I have my friends, one of the guys that I say with, he came from Namibia and at some point he had to go back. But when he came back next time, the last time, he was well prepared. He's now 2 years in Zim and he's making it big, earning big, living large. Why? Because sometimes you can move with emotions without a plan. You will suffer. You will fail and you will return back. So you need to ask yourself, where will I live for the first 3 months? What income do I have lined up? What skills do I bring? Who can help me locally? What's my first year goal? I'll repeat this. Where will I live the first 3 months? Most of the people that I've visited so far, they haven't been in Zimbabwe for more than 6 months. I think the maximum 6 months. Some came in January, we're in June now. Some came 2 months ago, some came 3 months ago. And no one has stayed for a year from those that I visited so far. And there's the trying stage, there's the introduction to the system stage. And the journey we have to constantly check the journey after a year, after 2 years, after 3 years. What's the plan? So when you want to relocate, ask yourself these questions. Where will I live for the first 3 months? What income do I have lined up? Which is, I feel, the most important thing there. What skill do I bring? What skill are you bringing to Zimbabwe? What skill? What skill are you bringing? You know, what will I be doing? Who can help me local? Also, who's gonna be helping me? When I was coming here, I know I was gonna be creating content, doing all this stuff. And I had 3-4 guys. I had Zigo, I had Manas Chibanda, I had some guys that I had in my mind to say, if I go to Zimbabwe, guys, I'm gonna be coming to your place. I'm gonna be doing video editing. I'm gonna be using your power. Zigo is off grid. I know he has got solar power. So I knew that if I don't get to see this one, I'll see this one. If I don't see this one, I'll see this one. You need to have it figured out, because if you don't have it figured out, you struggle. It will be a real struggle. So those are some of the things that you need to ask yourself. What's my 1 year goal? Do you have a goal? Do you have a plan for that 1 year? So Zimbabwe can be heaven or hardship depending on your preparation. The difference is the plan. It can be heaven on earth, but it can also be hell. Or it all depends on your preparation. So there you have it. 10 hard but helpful lessons for anyone thinking of relocating to Zimbabwe after years abroad. I'm learning all this during my 30-day challenge, and I'll be sharing more daily content. So make sure you also subscribe to this channel. If you're new, please make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit the like button, and also leave a comment. I'm just praying that if you've watched this far, you also leave a comment. If this video helped you, share it with your friends or family in the diaspora. Let's talk honestly about what it means to come home and how to do it wisely. So I'm always as real as it comes, and I've been receiving a lot of backlash and people saying whatever they want to say, but that's my life and that's my journey. I'm gonna sharing it the best way that I feel, the best way I see it fit, and I hope you understand me at the end of the day. So I'm still here in Zimbabwe for a few days. One thing that I'm gonna say, guys, dine 100 broilers chickens, please send your orders. They are coming out next week, around the 28th of June. They'll be coming out. They are going for $6 only. So please, I'm begging you. I just have 100 that I need to sell, and mind you, I haven't relocated. I'm still coming to check what's on the ground, but I've started my plans. In one of the videos that you shall watch, I want to build my homestead, my home area, our ancestral land where we used to stay where I was born. Want to build something there. Want something nice, something a bit classy in the raw area, and also my Dombo stand. For in the meantime, we were told to hold because the council is coming in, so we were told to stop building. So we've stopped building because we've been ordered to stop building. The council is coming in and they are talking of urbanization. That's why you're not seeing most of the stuff from my own stand. But whilst waiting, there are other ideas that are coming, and from moving around, I'm getting a lot of things, a lot of offers, which I'm also considering. The limiting factor is just finances, but there's a land that I've been offered, and I'm keen to take it. And some of these things I'll have to discuss also with my wife, because when you talk of relocating, we talk of building, I believe it's a family thing. It's you do have to do with your partner, and you have to unless if you want to put your marriage on the rocks. So there are a lot of changes that are happening. My complexion is coming back to be original, and I'm loving it. And at Church Get Dust, there are a lot of things that are happening that are good. So leave a comment with your biggest fear or question about relocating, your biggest fear or question about relocating. I'll respond, or maybe even turn it into a video. So please just leave that comment. What's your greatest fear? What's your plan? Just share in the comment section, please. So we are left with about 100 people to get to 10,000 subscribers. Let's get to 10,000 subscribers before the end of the day, and we get to the road to 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year. To meet again in my next video. God Winchirume is my name. Have a blessed, peaceful day.